Hello, I'm Adrena Austin, your Trice Academy manager. This tutorial will show you how to get the most from your Tricefy labels. Labels are a text tag that can be applied to all images in an entire study or select images within a study that make it easy to organize, search, filter, and recall from your Tricefy database. Tricefy labels can be useful for everyday queries, education, certification, quality assurance, or research, including AI and machine learning, helping you to focus on what matters most. You can create labels for anatomy, anomalies, or any other keyword that allows you to focus on the files you need when you need them. For example, you need to maintain your nuchal translucency certification, which requires you to submit images that meet a certain criteria. Not all images will meet that criteria, and it may take some time to gather the images you need. As you identify the required images, you can apply a text tag or a label to make those images easier to search for, filter, and download in the appropriate format. Ready to submit. Highlight a study, or in this case, a specific image from within a study, the image you would like to submit for certification. Select the labels icon on the top of your study list. This menu will show you all the labels that are available within your account. To create a new label, type the keyword or words in the text box. In this example, we are going to add a label for nuchal translucency, or NT for short. You can save the label by selecting Create Label. You next have the option to create a hierarchical label by nesting the new label under another label. You can check the Nest Under box and use the drop-down menu to select the parent label. Let's place our new label NT under the label First Trimester Risk Assessment, which then becomes the parent label. Then select Save Label. This is what hierarchical labels will look like in your label list. Our new label, NT, is now nested under the parent label, First Trimester Risk Assessment. Hierarchical labels help keep complex levels of labels organized and easy to use for everyday use, educational purposes, or organizing a large imaging database for research. To add an existing label, you can start by typing the label in the text box to search for the label, and place a check in the associated checkbox. From here, using the drop-down action menu, you also have the option to edit, add a sublabel under this label, or delete a label from your library. Labels can also be accessed from the side information panel. Labels can also be accessed from the side information panel. Highlight a study and select the Label tab on the side information panel. The Labels tab will display the labels that have been applied to this study. You can also add or remove labels in this menu. To add a label from the side information panel, select Add Label. This will bring you back into the main label menu, where you can add a label as normal. Click on the X to close the menu label. To remove labels from a study or image, deselect the checkbox. This removes the label from the study, while keeping it available to apply to other studies. When you are finished with the side information panel, click on the Label tab. Now that your studies and images are labeled, let's talk about how to search and filter those images so that you can focus on what's important to you. You can search for studies and images with labels by using the search bar at the top of the studies list. For example, you have now collected all of the images you need for your nuchal translucency certification, and you need to quickly and easily locate the files in your Tricefy database. Simply type the label in the search bar. In this case, we used NT, and click on the label to start the search. The images that you have labeled NT have now appeared in the Tricefy study list. To interact with these images, press Shift and Set to highlight more than one study. You can then choose to download the chosen images at one time by accessing the Action menu in the top right corner of the study list and choosing the Download option. You are now ready to submit your images. This workflow could equally be applied for gathering and downloading images for a presentation or education. Under the Labels menu in the Side Information panel, you will find our toggle for filtering files with labels. To control this feature, you can slide the Filter Thumbnails by Label toggle on or off. When thumbnails are filtered by labels, files without the label are collapsed, leaving only the information that you want to focus on. You can select the collapsed images if you would like to expand them. To filter files with specific labels, select the label in the Side Information panel. The label will be bold and thumbnails that have the label applied will be selected. Selecting individual labels applied within a study is useful for working with a subset of images within the scope of a study. A checked box and bold text indicate all currently selected thumbnails have the selected label. A dash in the checkbox indicates that some, but not all of the selected thumbnails have that label. An unchecked box means that the label is found within the scope of the study, but not applied to the images currently selected. Filtering thumbnails by label is also available from the Tricefy viewer. To enter the viewer, you can highlight a study from the Studies list and select Open in Viewer, or double-click on one of the thumbnail images. Click on the label applied to the images that you would like to focus on. You can collapse the thumbnail images that do not have the label of interest, so you can focus on the ones that do. The labeled images will be highlighted in green. You can choose the layout of the thumbnail images by selecting the monitor icon and dragging your mouse across the tiles to the desired layout, making it easier to see which images are labeled. You are now ready to take full advantage of Tricefy labels. I invite you to visit the Tricefy Help Center for more tips, tricks, and useful information to maximize your Tricefy experience.